In this tutorial, we're going to create fried boxes floating on top of an ocean. I got the idea from Madagascar when the boxes fell off the ship. Okay, let's get to it. First of all, we're going to create a plane. This will be our water surface. So we'll increase the width and the height to say 600-ish. Yeah, 600 will be fine. And the width and the height segments 200. Okay, so I'll change garage shading so we could see the divisions created from the 200 width and height segments. Okay, this is so that we could create more particles of water. So in this tutorial, I'm going to use a plugin to create the water surface. In that tutorial, I'll create a water surface without a plugin. So I'm going to use the hot 4D plugin to create the ocean surface. And if you don't have the hot plugin, it's a free plugin you can get online. Just go to Google and type hot 4 and you will see it there. Alright, so with this I'm going to make it a child of the plane, and instantly you could see the distortion it's created already, and this is because of the amount of height and width segments of our plane. Okay, let me take this once up a little bit. I'm going to change this to 256 by 256 here, so we have better resolution of the ocean. Then the approximate wave height, I'm going to take that down because it's looking too wavy at the moment. This will control how high the water rises. I'm going to take this down to 20, so it's not too, yeah, so this is good. This is great. So then I want to work on a little bit of choppiness and make that 1, so it has some sharpness when it rises. Okay, so that's what the choppiness does. It kind of makes it more choppy. Alright, so the animation will occur in time. So we're going to change or animate the time from here. So right now we're at 0. We're going to click on this button here and create an animation, take it down to the end of our timeline. Then I'm going to increase the time or something like 20. So this tells the software to move the water distortion in time, and that's allowed you for now. So let's just show you how it would look like. But before that, let me work on the keyframes and change them to linear, so we have a more linear movement. Okay, so this is beautiful. Okay, so just reposition so we have the water covering the screen. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so back to the beginning. Alright, now we're going to add our fried boxes. Before I create the material for the ocean, let's deal with the boxes. First of all, I'm going to create 1 box and reduce its size to, let's say, 20 on all sides. Okay, then shift it. Alright, so I'm going to make it editable, convert it to polygon. Then I want to be able to select all the faces in the box and create an extrude inner. Okay, so this will going to make it look more like a box. Alright, so we do just that later. Okay. And I'm going to select the inner extrusions and I'm going to make an extrude. And I'm going to push it a little bit in, so just go around the box this way and select all the faces that have been segmented in the extrude inner. And just pick this. The cube has 6 faces, so just pick in 6 faces. Alright, so I'll just create a material right now and just add it, and it comes on the cube. Okay, normally the material will alight on the whole cube, but because of the selection, the material has affected only the selected areas. So okay, so now let's change this material to something like wood, and thankfully the software has a default wood texture. So just select here and go down to texture. Then let's look for under surfaces. You see wood down the bottom there. If you want to change the projection, because by default it's on UVW mapping, the best projection is spatial. So that will actually give a better outlook of the cube, although it's not the whole cube that is being seen, because we have created a partition with our extrude inner. So for that, let me make a difference in color here. Create new material and swap them. So we have this material on the edges and the other wood material on the sides. Okay, so the spatial projection doesn't look so great because we have the segmentation of the boxes. But let me work on this material. So let me take this partition and turn it back to UVW mapping, so we have more reasonable look. Okay. So depending on what you want to create, we have other options there. You could pick anyone from that one. I'm going to stick with UVW mapping in this tutorial. Okay. I didn't create this segment out of this partial. Alright, so let's work on that coloration. Let's make it a bit dark brownish, and I'm going to add reflective material to it. I'm going to choose let's see, something that will give it a different outlook, maybe like an orange near. This will look as dull as the original color. Let me just go down and pick something like an Hawaiian. Then I'll use this. It's gonna create kind of like the textured feel, yeah. And because of the brown we used, so that's why it's looking this way. Okay, so it's looking good. Alright, so next thing we want to do is we want to attach the box to the surface of the water, so that the water surface affects the position of the box. Okay, so I want it to look more real, like it's really responding to the box. So we're going to add a constraint to the cube. The other constraint, we want to click on clamp the surface to clamp it to the surface of the water. So I'm going to clamp to surface, which will be the surface of the water. Align axis Y is okay. I'm going to do a fixed axis, not a fixed position. So then I'm going to go with the AST form normal. Fixed axis, so wherever the surface of the water distorts to, it follows it. And I'm going to tell the software to use the normals and lock the form. Then now the target is going to be the water surface. So just drag it in there, and instantly you see that the box has taken a different position. It's now locked with the axis of the water. So I'm going to create 3 copies of the box, and I'm going to spread them out. But I will not be able to do this as long as the constraint is on. As you can see, no matter how I try to move the boxes, it's still constrained to one position. So I'm going to show you how we're going to be able to do this. We're going to take off the constraints and make each individual box have its own constraints. Alright, so as long as this constraint is here, it's going to constrain these other boxes to the initial position of the other box, the initial axis. So we're going to take off, delete the constraints of these other boxes and create their own constraints so that we can have them. So let me just reposition them first of all to where I want them to be. Like this is boxes where the Hippo Gloria, the lion, and the zebra were. Now, if I copy the constraints even after positioning down into these other ones, it's going to log them back to how it was in the before we deleted the constraint, because it still has the information of the first cube, so it's going to tie all these cubes back. So we're not going to do the copy constraints in this session here. So we can copy the material and stuff, but copy the constraint to take the position of the initial cube. So we're going to create their own constraints. You can select both of them. Create constraints, same thing, clamp them, then the surface, the fixed axis, the form normal, then use normals, and lock position. Okay, so that's what makes them lock in position. Okay, then I'm gonna drag the targets, which is the water. So you would see that they will act differently from themselves because the water form changes in different positions. So once we add a plane, you see they take different shapes. Now you could see that they are reacting differently to the position of the water height wavelengths at different points. Okay, so let's create the water material now. Just add let's say I wanted to make this transparent, so going basic and activate transparency. Okay, so under the water transparency, I'm going to make I want to go into the transparency tab. I'm going to reduce it to somewhere around 95 or so. Then I'm going to make the refraction 1.2, which is the refraction of water, and that's how light passes through an object. Okay, then I'm going to give it a bright bluish color, green and blue. I think blue would be better, some bluish. Yeah. Alright, so and I go into the reflectance now, and I'm going to add GGX. I usually use this when I'm going to create glass material, but it's nice to create sparkling water material. I'm not going to affect any of these settings right here. I'll just leave them as default. Okay, so let's drag this into the plane, and instantly you have the water surface. Even before we render, we could see the reflective. So I'm going to use the interactive render region just to see. So this is looking nice already. Okay, so if you notice, it's still looking kind of dark. It's looking kind of dark. There's some blue around the boxes, but now we want it to look more real. So, but first, let's just preview it and watch how it looks. It's beautiful. Okay, So we could see the shadowy areas, a little bit of the blue. Okay, so let's add a sky so the ocean can reflect the sky. That's why we added reflective material, because water reflects its environment. So you could see it's already taking a more realistic shape now. So this tells you already that the reason why the ocean is blue is because the sky is blue. Okay, so another sky material want to activate the atmosphere, and I'm gonna activate some clouds just to make the sky look a little bit more real. You see a little bit more of the reflection on the water. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning, and I'd like to make a preview of this. I wanted to come in and change. You want to change some settings in the atmosphere, you can come in to the atmosphere, sun, or cloud, and make some change. But I'm just gonna leave this in this. Now I'm gonna make a preview of this so we have an animation. I'm not going to do full render now because I'm already rendering something in the background. It's going to take a while, so I'm going to go manual, and I'm going to just go 100 frames. Do 100 frames. I'm going to do the whole 300 frames, and I'm going to double the image size to 640. Yeah, I'm going to choose OK. Alright, so once the software is done making a preview, we'll be able to play the preview so we see how it looks like from the rendered perspective. Alright, but already I'm liking what I'm seeing. We change the sky time to sometime early in the morning, somewhere it's a little bit more blue. You see the sunset in the background. So we hit play, and as you see the rough shaft and next. Well, we hit play here, now we see the preview of the water's reaction, and this is just beautiful. Okay, so you could go around and play with the sky or add more boxes or work on your boxes, but this is how we could do the boxes on the ocean liner. So I'll see you in the next tutorial. Take care.